Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about astrology and the future of prolific, renowned NFL quarterback Tom Brady. Now, some of you sports fans out there, football fans especially, may have heard about some speculation regarding Tom Brady leaving the New England Patriots and going to another NFL team. Well, I'm looking at some transits coming up for Tom Brady, and I think it's really, I think his departure from the Patriots is actually imminent. I'm going to explain why in the video. Through some of these transits, I'm looking at, okay, on the supermoon, which is going to take place on March 9th, 2020, we're going, Tom Brady, the first thing I'm looking at is that supermoon in Virgo is going to fall in his 11th house of groups, organizations, and it's going to be pretty close to the 12th house cusp of endings. Now, when you're talking about, full moons, super moon is a little inflated. Full moon in terms of its impact, its intensity. You're talking about, full moons in astrology can be about revelations, declarations, unveilings. And the fact it's hitting the 11th house, it could also be endings. This is going to be, I think, even though the free agency in the NFL isn't really going to start till like the 18th of March, that doesn't mean he's not going to say something or hint at something very strongly about what he may do, as far as whether he's going to stay with the Patriots or he's going to move on to another NFL team. I think what could happen at this time, at or near this supermoon in Virgo on March 9th, is that based on the fact that it's going to fall in Tom's 11th house, this could be something that comes to a close where there was a lot of analysis, there was a lot of pensive energy, where he put this into a lot of deep thought, and he maybe at this point in time decides, okay, I'm definitely going to leave New England Patriots. Now, it doesn't mean he's definitely going, but I am leaving the Patriots, but I do believe that he is going to be doing this. And again, it is going to be close to the 12th house cusp of endings as well at this time. So, another thing too, transit I'm looking. This full, and again, the super moon could be pretty powerful in astrology, and the other transits that happen at the same time. Even when you have a regular full moon, the other transits in at that time that are occurring can be intensified and amplified. Tom Brady's also going to have, at this point in time, but what's going to take place is that the transit sun in Pisces is going to be at least at a long inconjunct aspect to his Libra ascendant, not far from his 6th house, and also Neptune in Pisces as well. And the thing about this is the fact you're looking at something where you have you're talking about when inconjuncts take place in astrology, they can often be about adjustments. And you have, the sun in Pisces near his 6th house, not far from Tom Brady's 6th house cusp. The fact is that he could be, there could be a strong focus on dissolving a works employment situation. Neptune near the 6th house cusp can indicate that could be about the dissolving or dissipation of something that was employment related. And you're talking about an inconjunct aspect to the Libra ascendant. The Libra ascendant could indicate this could be something where he really was somewhat ambivalent about, weighing the pros and cons very strongly, because as many of you may know, the ascendant is about what the qualities that we could express very naturally. And sadly, on Libra, on a negative manifestation, Libra ascendant can be very ambivalent and can be constantly weighing the pros and the cons of an issue, balancing things, trying to see the good aspects of this and the negative. And The thing is that, and we're talking about adjustments, and you're talking about energy that's close to the sixth house anyway. That could be something that can be associated with employment. So, um, another thing too is Tom Brady's going to have a number of transits, Capricorn transits in that fourth house cusp of the home at this time as well, at the time of the supermoon in Virgo. And you're going to have, in transit, Jupiter is going to be very close to his fourth house cusp at the time. And of course, Jupiter can be about expansion. And this could be about something where he might be expanding as far as his home life goes at this time. And the thing, and it might be done with a lot of premeditation, a lot of planned energy at this time. This could be about, well, or at least expanding his horizons as far as his home, as far as where his home is going to be, with that Capricorn like premeditative energy. And you're also going to have Saturn, transit Saturn at this time, closing in on 29 degrees. And when you look at this symbolically and even collectively for many people, this could be a time where you're talking about the end of, could be the end of some kind of like profession or some career or position one may have had. And the fact that it's in Capricorn, Capricorn energy could be very consistent, very orthodox, very regimented. It could be about very strong longevity. And the thing is, this could be symbolically, I think, something that maybe has grown a little bit old. I mean, Capricorn is the sign of old age. It's the sign where you're talking about something that's aged for a while, something that's endured for a long period, a certain career, at least a certain position he had in this case, with his team. Doesn't mean that the career is going to end, but this quote unquote career with the Patriots, I could see likely coming to an end at this time. And also, he's going to have transit Mercury in Aquarius, is going to be in the fifth house at this time. And at this time, it will be, at the time of this supermoon in Virgo, it's going to be its stationary position, and it's a sign that it's not far off from going direct. So when you have transit Mercury retrograde coming to an end, that could be a point where you're looking at where a lot of reflection, a lot of debating, a lot of thinking about something, reviewing a matter can come to an end, and Mercury will be in the sign of Aquarius at this time, the sign of the future at this time. So this is and shortly after that, of course, you're going to have, I mean, it's going to be at 28 degrees Aquarius Mercury at the time, but shortly in the next day or so or two, I would say it will be at 29. Likely the next day it will be, or at least 2 days following, 29 degrees Aquarius. And of course, when you have something at 29 degrees, that can reflect, in astrology, that can reflect the end of something. Aquarius can be connected with aspirations, with your one's future, or I should say, it could be with group involvements. This could be a time where he could be communicating something about the end of the road with some team or organization. In this case, it would be the Patriots, if he does indeed do that. And the thing about this too as well, transit at this time, transit North Node in Cancer is going to be closing in on Tom Brady's natal Venus. And of course, Venus can be about money. It'll fall in Tom Brady's ninth house of sports. So, and going back to the Mercury in Aquarius, what I was talking about before with that transit, that's going to be in Tom Brady's fifth house, and the fifth house can be connected with sports as well. And going now again, the transit North Node in Cancer, making it'll be about maybe around 4 degrees from Tom Brady's Venus in Cancer. And that could be, when you're talking about the North Node in transit, as I've talked about in previous videos, it could be about issues that one may have to confront or address. And this could be about an issue that maybe I mean, you're talking about closing in on Venus and Cancer. That could be a money-making thing that he had been, as far as where he was generating his income, um, and what he felt close to home with as far as doing so. It could be something. I mean, Cancerian energy, even though it's not a fixed sign, is not generally fond of change. They like to do what they're familiar with, and I think what they feel close to home at, what they feel comfortable with, and I think what this could reflect for Tom Brady at this time, confronting issues about something that he valued, something that he enjoyed, that was close, that he felt close to home with, that he felt comfortable with, that he felt some kind of security that he made, that has to be confronted at this near this point in time. So I mean, those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out, I believe, at this time, as far as Tom Brady goes, and you're talking about the future with the New England Patriots. And trying to see if there was any other thing to look at as far as these transits go. And the thing about this too is that you're looking at this as well. And another thing I noticed is that the Black Moon Lilith in Aries is not going to be far from Tom Brady's Moon in Aries this time. And at this time, when you're talking about you're talking about Black Moon, Lilith, and astrology. This could be another thing that could be associated with, and I'm talking about at the time of the supermoon in Virgo on March 9th, 2020. Transit Black Moon, Lilith, and Aries is not going to be far from Tom Brady's natal moon in Aries in the sixth house of work and employment. So this could be a thing which might come to light. It might be, maybe a revelation or a veiling that might actually come out that maybe Tom Brady didn't necessarily want to come out. Something that could be, again, sports related, that's associated with his employment, something that's connected with a position of command and leadership, and of course being the quarterback. I mean, that's a very, I mean, you could say you're really basically, I mean, even if you're not the captain of a team, you have a position where you're exhibiting leadership qualities, and being an Aries, it could be something that could come out really very abruptly, very spontaneously, as far as that energy goes. So anyway, people, I don't think there's really anything else I'm going to say regarding this. But again, these are transits. What I'm talking about that are going to transpire on this at this time, as far as March 9, 2020, when we have the supermoon in Virgo. And another thing about this as well is that keep in mind that, again, the free agency in the NFL doesn't really start till like March 18th. And the thing about it is, and you're going to have, it's interesting, again, going back to the fact that transit Saturn is going to be in the late degrees, 29 degrees of Capricorn coming up soon, and then it's going to enter Aquarius. So it's another indicator. I think you're going to see a lot of you might see greater proliferation of just athletes, these football players that have been with teams for a long period. That was something that was they showed they were there. I mean, being in Capricorn very consistently, Saturn in Capricorn, I mean, can reflect, I would say, being at some position, some career that where you showed a lot of longevity. You might have stayed there to a fairly older age too, since Capricorn is connected with older age, and did so really and something where you were there, and it was something that was very constant, very consistent, where it was something maybe regimented, but where it was very stable perhaps as well. But the fact that transit Saturn is going to be transitioning to Aquarius in later March of 2020, it's an indicator that there's going to be a number of these people, I think, that will wind up having their career change where it'll be where it's really a reflection of freedom and independence. And of course, Aquarius can bring very shocking and unpredictable energy as well. Some of these people may wind up going to some place that you didn't. These free agents, after staying at a place for a pretty good period, may wind up going somewhere that you couldn't really predict. My own personal opinion on Tom Brady, assuming he does leave the Patriots, I got a feeling he's going to go to the Chargers. That's what I think the destination is. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe he's from California originally, and I could see him kind of maybe going back maybe to where he was from originally, assuming he was from California originally, but I believe he was from there. But you may want to check on that. And in any way, as far as confirming that. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.